Thanks, Greg. Well, she makes cooking entertaining, entertaining a breeze, and raiding the refrigerator a nightly ritual. Food Network star and cookbook author Nigella Lawson is back with a new cookbook, a new show, Nigella's Kitchen, and she's going to be celebrating the vital warmth and importance of the kitchen in town for the Chi Omega Christmas Market. And first, she is here with us. Good morning.
Oh, good morning to you.
So glad to have you here. I've been a fan of your programs for years because it just makes you feel like we've been invited into your kitchen, just having a relaxing cup of wine while you cook dinner for us.
Yes, well, you know, where's the wine now?
It's
anyway, it's a bit early. It's a bit
Rob's
early.
Got to stay on target.
Yes, I don't want some wine now. I mean, food in cooking actually relaxes me more than a glass of wine ever can.
Well, you're going to do a recipe for us today, and then I want to talk more about the new show.
Sure. Well, I will do. I'm going to show you this. I call this Spanish chicken. You know, you could. It's got a bit of Tex-Mex going on because really why we call it Spanish, you know, back in Blighty is because it's got chorizo sausage.
Right.
Which we think of that. So this is some chicken thighs. We say about chicken thighs rather than breast. You know. Twice as much flavour and half the cost, and I put...
Now, is that because it's twice as much fat, right? That's where the flavour comes from?
Not twice as much, yes, that's where... No, and the bone.
Which is fine,
and the bone,
that's not a complaint, because flavour...
Well, I'm adding more fat.
Okay, excellent. See, you're speaking my language.
So put the chorizo sausage, and so what happens is all the kind of paprika oils seep out on cooking, and the chicken kind of fries in that a little as it roasts. So that goes in. I have potatoes. Well, you can see I've got potatoes.
And here you've got it seasoned up. I'll put these on here, and you can show that, please.
You do the potatoes, and I can do some red onion.
And again, it's one pan. It's one baked tray.
Just an hour in a kind of 400-degree oven.
And you're a big proponent that cooking should not take you away from the party or away from the rest of your life. There's a way to fit it in and make it part of your life.
And to make it enjoyable, because it's too big a part of life to be a stress. You know, life can be stressful enough out of the kitchen. Don't make it stressful in the kitchen. So here we are, a bit of orange zest just for a little flavour. And then, you see, this has been done more beautifully, and this has had the warm breath of the oven on it.
So how long would this go in and cook?
I would do an hour. No, it doesn't need an hour at 400. It doesn't really need an hour, but that's how you get that glorious colour. And because, when I say it doesn't need an hour, the chicken thighs alone might not, but because they're on the bone and they've got that succulence, they taste so tender even though they've had an hour. And look at that, when you see food that's been, you know, bronzed by the oven, you just want to eat it.
It's gorgeous, and it's just, again, it's simple. It sits there for an hour. You can do other things. You can entertain your guests.
You can whip up a bit of margarita cream.
Absolutely. I want to talk about this cake that you've got over here. It's fabulous. But first, let's talk about the new book, Nigella Kitchen.
Yes.
You've had several cookbooks out there, but what's kind of the nugget behind this, or the theme?
It's really, in many ways, it's a sort of distillation and development of all my other books. But it occurred to me really that the kitchen is... Well, of course, it's the most important room in the house, really. And for me, I've spent so much time in many kitchens and loved being in the kitchen. But I realised that not only is it a kind of love affair I have for the kitchen, but also that you spend so much time there, you realise that days are different, schedules are different, your moods are different. And I wanted to write a book that said, you know, look, sometimes we have to cook something either for the kids or for us when we're absolutely tired and we've only got 15 minutes. Other times you've got the weekend, you can put something to cook low and slow in the oven and maybe do a few chores or read a magazine, and I wanted to fit the whole of life in this
so it's a little more realistic. It's not all just pristine, gorgeous things when you have 17 hours to cook it. This is
I've never done that.
Yeah, that's never been your style. Well,
no.
you mentioned
But I like a bit of everything, so this is the whole of life jumbled up and put in this cookbook.
You mentioned family, and we've gotten to see your kids grow up. In the past two shows, you know, they were running around the kitchen. Now they're teenagers in this new show.
I know.
Do they ever give you that, oh, Mom, I don't want to be on your show?
Yeah, of course. And I wouldn't make them. And I think that it's quite important that they're allowed to come on and maybe not have to speak or deliver words if they don't want to. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But it's nice for me to have them in my, because my work and my life are very much, you know, a part of the same thing, and a lot of the recipes they've seen me testing and helped being my guinea pigs.
Well, speaking of the guinea pigs, you always have a group of folks sitting around a table kind of getting to enjoy the fruits of your labor on each episode. How do you get on that list? How do you get to be one of those people?
Well, you have to, as you know about television, there's sort of, you know, hurry up and wait syndrome. You've got to have a lot of time to wait around while we get tweaking with our dishes at the right time. But I've had a lot of friends, I tease them, you know, friends who've been on the shows eating since the very beginning, and I say sometimes, if I say, do you know what, I might have to audition for some younger friends. I have to audition for some younger friends now.
Well, we appreciate you so much being here. Again, Nigella is going to be signing copies of her cookbook, Nigella Kitchen, during the Chi Omega Christmas Market's First Call Shopping. That's today from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And if you want more information about that, log on to chiomegaxmas.org, Christmas.org. You can also find tickets at the Dallas-Fort Worth area Tom Thumbs. Thank you so much for being here and for cooking for us this morning. Up next, Dallas Cowboys coach John Garrett's wife, Honor, and her One Heart Project.